Hello and welcome to Boomer Live. Of course, today we are here to talk about a cracker of a game, a classic IPL game which was played between Kolkata Knight Riders and the Lucknow Super Giants. At the end of the first innings, many of you all might have thought it was all Lucknow Super Giants game, and that's the kind of start even Kolkata got off to their second half. Where they lost two quick wickets, but then the game went down to the wire, and Kolkata just lost by 2 runs. At one point of stage in the last over, you felt this is Kolkata's game as well. But it were not to be. It was Rinku Singh who pulled them close all time, also with thrilling the line towards the end. But then that one catch by Evan Lewis just shattered the hopes of many Knight Riders fans across the world, including Mr. Sandipani over here. I can see it in him that how shattered he's at this very point. But let's talk about it, Sandipani. It was one of those crazy game of cricket, isn't it? Because you saw it all in the first innings. 140 runs was scored by a single batsman. But then I remember telling at the end of the first innings to one of my friend, KKR will chase it down. I just had that hunch KKR could chase it down. And KKR could have chased it down. But you never know. Just tell me your initial thoughts on that game.
No, initial thoughts are that it is really frustrating to end on the losing note of two such crackers. They even had a 200 plus, like 400 plus game against Rajasthan Royals a few days back. And again, 86 needed of the last 8 overs. I mean, they shouldn't have collapsed, first of all. I know, first of all, conceding 210 on this pitch was a bit too much. I think something somewhere around 170, 175 was par. And I think the way that KKR, the only reason that KKR got so close to the target was that this was the last game. They really had nothing to lose. If this would have been a game in the seventh or eighth, if this game would have been played in the somewhere in the middle of the tournament, I don't think KKR would have gone so hard about this. KKR would have probably ended up losing by 30-40 runs.
Right.
Because again, they would have felt some sort of pressure in today's game. I think they had no pressure because they already knew that even if they could have pulled it off, they had to depend on two teams for their fate to qualify on the playoffs. Having said that, I mean, it was a very good the glimpse of hope that somebody like Rinku Singh and Sunil Narayan provided was good to see. I mean, nobody had any hope from them when 55 runs were needed of the last 3 overs and Russell was out. uh, but again, credit should go to Mohsin Khan. First of all, Mohsin Khan, because again, he has proved that no matter at which point you want him to bowl, he is coming in the power play, bowling those 2 overs, picking up early wickets, coming in the middle overs, stemming the run flow. I think KKR were 125 for three at the end of 12 overs. And they were going all guns blazing. They were hitting Ravi Bishnoi for boundaries. Somebody like Avesh Khan was traveling for over 40 runs in 2 overs. I think at that point, Mohsin Khan coming in and bowling his third over, going for just 2 runs. I think
Yeah.
that's changed the momentum completely. And again, then there was nothing from anyone. We have seen that Russell struggles in a game with the bat if he has more often than not if he has not contributed with the ball. This time around, we saw that in some of the games Russell did exceedingly well with the bat, and in those games he did exceedingly well with the ball as well. But in the games where he struggled with the ball, we could see that it was just not his day.
Yeah.
And first of all,
You reckon?
I, yes.
Let's talk about the bowling of KKR, right? What do you reckon would have possibly affected this? Because the last over was quite expensive. If the last over would have gone even for 15, 20, maybe 12 runs, this would have been KKR's game if you look in hindsight. Because 210, I still thought was chaseable because I felt somewhere, Lucknow Super Giants were slow. Just banning the last over. You might see on for all the stat books, wow, 210 runs partnership for the opening wicket. But if you're having, I would rather take 230 for 7 or 210 for no loss. And that's something which I totally felt they were I felt 5 run short to 10 run short on that wicket, and that's exactly that could have possibly happened as well. But then, uh, what you possibly reckon would have happened to KKR's bowling? Because this bowling attack has been pretty good through the course of this IPL. Uh, can you blame it on the catch drop by Mr. Tomer in that first in Umesh Yadav's second over, where the ball went to the third man, and if you would have caught that, you never know where this game would have gone, isn't it?
I was just going to blame Tomar. You made my job easier. I feel again. somebody like a Sheldon Jackson is sitting in the dugout. You have trusted somebody like a Indrajit and Sheldon Jackson ahead of somebody like a Tomar, who is coming
Yeah.
in for a game so important. Like it's the last game of their season, and they need a win. It's not that they are already out of the tournament or they are comfortably sitting in the table. It was a must-win, do-or-die affair. Somebody coming in and opening the innings is too much to ask for from anyone. Having said that, I think Tomar should have definitely like clung down to that catch. I think that was something. I mean, he considered 128 runs on the field straight away. 128. Decock was just on 12. And
Right.
Umesh Yadav was again about to get a wicket in the power play as well. So I think
Right.
the complete dimension of the game would have been different. It would have been a different affair. We would have seen something like 170, 180. But I would like to disagree on your point that they were slow at some point. I think if you ask me whether they were slow at the early stages of the game. They were only on 48 for 0 at the end of 7 overs. I think after that they sort of accelerated really well. In the
You
middle
know
overs,
what
they
I felt, why I brought that particular point is that maybe somewhere I felt this could have possibly been a 220 game. When you have when you have 10 wickets in hand, you try to tend to push towards 220, and this they would have possibly lost this game, and all this would have looked like a proper stat padding kind of a knock. But then that knock, I'm just not blaming maybe Quinton de Kock or someone, but it would have just looked like that because you're scoring 210 for no loss, and a team would have possibly chased down with 4 wickets hand and with maybe a couple of balls to spare as well. But then it did not happen. But my point over here is they were 10 runs short because I felt somewhere or the other, KL Rahul could have been a little more free. I don't know why he wants to play that anchor's role all the time. If KL Rahul have scored a little more at a brisker rate, maybe 10 runs to 15 runs difference, 225 means KKR was never in it. This chase was all about 210. 210, I just felt was a good track to bat on, and that's what made KKR into the game, in the game, and also with the shorter boundary. Or else, I really didn't give KKR a chance at all through the course of this game if it were to be 225.
But then again, they started off really slow. If you are to blame a phase where they went slow, I think it's the power play. They were 44 for
Yeah.
no loss at the end of the power play, and they just scored 4 runs of the seventh over. So
Yeah.
basically, they were 48 for no loss at the end of 7 overs, and they were somewhere around 125 at the end of 15. So they
Yeah.
basically they scored at something over 10 runs per over in the middle phase of the game, which is good. And you like Lucknow Super Giants, they had somebody like an Evan Lewis. And Stoinis for this game. Somebody like Evan Lewis, Stoinis, Deepak Huda coming in later in the like batting order. But to be fair to them, they went at over 10 runs in the middle phase, and in the last stage of the game, they scored something 80. They scored 47 of the last 2 overs. Tim Saudi was just bowling those half volleys. I had no clue why such an experienced bowler coming in bowling those half volleys to someone who is batting on 100. So it was just a horrific performance from the KKR bowling department. I think Russell was a bit unlucky in that last over. Nitish Rana could have pulled off that catch, and some of those edges flew off past third man for boundaries in the last over. But then again, today was not Russell's day. We clearly saw he was struggling with the bat as well. So, according to me,
Yeah.
I think Lucknow Super Giants paced it pretty well. 210, I would take 210 on this pitch on any day, especially because KKR's batting. We obviously know that even if Lucknow Super Giants would have got something around 225, 230, KKR would have played the same brand of cricket. You
Right.
would have probably saw that they wouldn't have slowed down after the 13th over, like 12th over.
Right.
They were sort of taking it easy, sort of giving Russell to settle in for a couple of balls. Russell played a knock of 5 of just 11 balls in that phase. I
Right.
mean, it just swung the momentum in Lucknow's favor. And
Right.
somebody like Ravi Bishnoi has been bowling well
I
in
have a
the.
question for you here. Just to add to that, what would you have taken? Would it have been a 200? Would you have taken a 200? Just looking at hindsight, would you have been happy with 200, or would you have felt like even 200 was pressure on the batters?
200 is definitely pressure on the batters. I mean, they scored 47 runs of the last 2 overs. You basically expect something like 25, 30 at the most. I understand they have 10 wickets in hand, but it's not easy to score runs quickly for a new batter who is coming in to get accustomed to the conditions right from ball one. You might have players who will just get going from ball one on specific days, But we have seen that Stoinis this season, the Lucknow Super Giants middle order has struggled to sort of accelerate right from ball one. Somebody like a Stoinis came in the previous encounter against KKR. He sort of slowed down the things in the game against Delhi Capitals as well. Even though he got those 3 4 sixes against Shivam Mavi at the end, but still, Marcus Stoinis has taken some time to get going. Similar is the case for most of all the batters. I can't say that for Evan Lewis though. Evan Lewis has looked good this season. He was just dropped because they couldn't fit him in as the four, as they had already several sort of permutations and combinations with the four foreign players going for the game. It was interesting to see that they had sort of gone for like dropped Kunal, somebody like a Krunal Pandya and Dushmanta Chamira.
Yeah.
I think it was a sort of an experiment. They went batting heavy on this one, and we saw that if they go batting heavy, and if Avesh Khan did not have a very good day, so the bowling went for plenty. It was just saved by Mohsin Khan.
Yeah.
I won't credit Stoinis with those 3 wickets, even though the last ball that he bowled was exceptional. Bowling those that slower yorker, getting
I
that
also
slower yorker,
felt that, Mohsen Khan was the difference between the two
yeah,
sides. Ultimately, if it was
definitely.
not the batters. I feel on a batting wicket with shorter boundaries, it's always going to be that one bowler who's going to make the difference. And I felt him picking up Venkatesh Iyer's wicket was just outstanding. That first over was one of the best first overs I've seen in IPL, because he was bowling with some serious pace, and Venkatesh Iyer, a batter who's trying to get in form, had no answer for it at all. And after that, also, he was just running, and even Shreyas Iyer and Sam Billings were finding it really difficult to get away from him, because they were striking the ball pretty well at that very point. But when Mohsin Khan came to ball, he possibly slowed down that run rate all of a sudden, and the pressure all of a sudden mounted upon the KKR batters. But other than that, I felt, towards the end, Marcus Stoinis could have gone anywhere. I mean,
Yeah.
Marcus Stoinis, I just felt that one hit, if Umesh Yadav would have connected it, it would have gone anywhere, because when
No, but the
Umesh Yadav
last
would
delivery
swing,
was good. If Marcus Stoinis would have bowled the ball that he bowled to Rinku Singh to Umesh Yadav, I think it would
yeah,
have traveled for a distance. Rinku
yeah.
Singh just was a bit early on the shot.
We
He
talked
just
about Rinku Singh. Let's not blame him at all. I mean, that was one of the greatest finishers. He possibly could have been could have pulled KK one of the best states. I don't think KK have ever chased anything in excess of 210. So this could have possibly been KK's greatest chase, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah,
But
but the thing for
uh,
them is they get so close and yet they lose.
yeah,
It's just been so frustrating for the KKR supporters and fans, because they just give them the hope that they can go and chase 221 on any day.
right,
They are on the ball game. They stay in the game throughout the
yeah.
entirety of the match. It's just that in the last over things just don't go for them.
Well, absolutely. I
And
mean,
I think
you can't
three
blame
from
them
two,
at all. They
expect
can't
somebody like
blame
a
them at
Rinku
all.
Singh. Yeah, we can't blame somebody like a Rinku Singh and Sunil Narayan, who sort of brought the game so close. I mean,
Yeah,
55 minutes of the last 3 overs, most of us would have switched the TV off with
absolutely.
somebody like a Rinku Singh and Sunil Narayan
I
batting.
mean, I thought last 3 overs it was going to be really tough, and 38 of 12, I thought maybe it's too much of an ask. But then last over, I felt this was like KKR's game,
Yeah, the
because
way
three
Rinku Singh
two.
was connecting the ball, I think the six that he hit straight down the ground in that last over was, I think, for me, the shot of the game.
Yeah,
Even though Rahul
absolutely.
had a brilliant flick and Quinton de Kock played some great
I
sweeps
mean,
and reversals,
under
I think that was the
pressure to
shot of
come
the game.
just down the track and hit him over his head, that was just
Yeah,
brilliant of Rinku Singh. Not just that, let's talk about that catch, isn't it? Evan Lewis's catch was probably one of the catches of the tournament, because just given the circumstances of that catch, and he was not even playing, he was a substitute fielder, mind ya. He just came in, just put his hand there, the ball just stuck. You could say those things only stick once in a blue moon. On another day, that would have possibly bounced and gone for a couple of runs, and KKR would have ended up winning this game, or at least would have gone to a super over. But it were not to be. What did you make of that
I think
catch,
if
Sandipani?
he wouldn't have taken that catch, it would have been scores level with one ball to go and Rinku Singh on strike. And I don't think that he would have gone for the glory shot if one was needed of the last ball. But yeah, I felt that there was no need for him to go for that glory shot in that last over. Not last over, in that last two balls, I think 3 from 2. Somebody like David Warner or KL Rahul would have sort of picked the gap and like trusted themselves to run that 2 runs hard, because we know Rinku Singh is very fast between the wickets. So worst case scenario, Narayan would have got run out at the other end if you would have sort of picked the gap, because the leg side boundary was really huge.
Yeah.
So
Before
yeah,
that, I'll
I
just
mean,
like to answer Salim Saeed over here. Just to stop you, Sandipani. Just refresh your app. We'll be updating it because there's some technical glitch. What is happening? I believe. Just take it out, Salim Saeed. Just refresh your app, and also just as you have already reported us, we will be starting out from our end. I know it's a Europa League final as well, so we'll be starting in another 15 minutes. So just give us some time. I've all no, we've escalated this. Don't worry. Yeah. Getting back to
yeah.
that, Sanjay. Come on.
Yeah, so basically Rinku Singh with more experience, I think if Rinku Singh would have been in the future with, say, with 2 3 years of experience in IPL, I think he wouldn't have gone for that goalie shot with three needed of two balls. I think the KKR fans were almost celebrating. We almost thought that we had it, but yeah, it's one of those days, and Evan Lewis, the ball just stuck. So yeah, it's probably one of the catches of the tournament, if not the like catch of the tournament. I would rate it very highly, especially because of the game situation. I mean, if it would have been a drop, we would have seen that KKR would have pulled it off. And having said that, this was a very important win for Lucknow as well. Now, sort of, if Rajasthan Royals does not manage to win it in the last game against Chennai, then Lucknow Super Giants end on the second spot, which wouldn't have happened if they would have lost it.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for that, Sandeep. Salim, we'll just try to sort it out. And yeah, Sandeepani, of course. Let's move ahead. Let's talk about now what it has done to the tournament, which means KKR are officially out of the tournament at this very point of stage. It is unfortunate for their fans, for all the players. I just feel bad for that team at this very point. I know next season is going to be all new for them. It's going to be a new coaching staff. I don't think Brendan McCullum will continue anymore, and that's going to be a big hit. I mean, I just felt Brendan McCullum and Shreyas Iyer were just gelling together as captain and a coach. And you always want to give one season at least, because last couple of seasons you had Dinesh Karthik, you had Owen Morgan stepping up. Now it was first season of Shreyas Iyer with Brendan McCullum. Or I'm going to be very interested to see who's going to be the next KKR coach.
I mean,
I,
200 plus chases and KKR almost made it look possible. So I think the team has done really well this season. But it's just that they were not able to close some of those close games,
right,
which somebody like a Gujarat Titans have successfully managed to do so.
right,
I think that's been the difference for like KKR. Now KKR will, I think, they will definitely end at the seventh spot in this season, because
right,
if you sort of pull out the points table, they are at number 6 right now. And Punjab Kings and Sunrisers Hyderabad both are on 12 points with 7th and 8th. So one of them are
right.
going to lose in the last fixture, and they are going to end below KKR, and the other one is going to overtake KKR. But it's safe to say that most of the teams are out of it. It's just a fight between Bangalore, Royal Challengers Bangalore, and Delhi Capitals. The team which
Yeah,
wins will sort of make it
yeah.
through.
Yeah, so I reckon what we're gonna do is possibly look into the different scenarios yet again. Now, as this match has already gotten over, what do you reckon can happen? Because now can we see Royal Challengers Bangalore tomorrow toppling Gujarat Titans? And I don't want to talk about that preview because we'll be doing that separately. But uh, let's just speak about what possibly can happen, isn't it? Can Royal Challengers Bangalore be given that edge? Because we conducted a poll on Twitter and we saw 43% vote for Royal Challengers Bangalore to be the team who will make it to the top four from Delhi Capitals, Punjab Kings, Sunrisers Hyderabad, and KKR. And KKR was number two on the list with 35%. So, and I just felt like KKR was just there, and it was possibly one of those opportunities. As I'm already seeing a lot of comments on the Europa League final issues, we'll be sorting it out. We'll be sorting it out ASAP. Just I request your patience at this very point because we'll be sorting it out in no time because it's a glitch which has happened. So we'll be sorting it out in another couple of minutes hopefully, and we will get back to you on that as well. So I request you to be patient. I know it's a many people are very much awaited for this game, and so just
Yeah,
just
speaking about the
just
points
just
table,
give
I
us that.
just feel it's very simple right now. If Delhi Capitals win their game, they are through. If Delhi Capitals loses their game, it all depends on RCB. If RCB manages to win their game, then RCB are through. If RCB loses, RCB are knocked out of it. Even if Delhi Capitals loses and RCB loses, I think Delhi Capitals will have the superior net run rate. But we have to see if Punjab Kings can sort of get a thumping win over Sunrisers Hyderabad or not. If it happens so that both Delhi Capitals and RCB loses. So it will be interesting to see whether Punjab Kings can sort of come up as well. But it looks really unlikely. So the only two teams that are sort of running like superiorly, and I think it's 70-30 in the favor of Delhi Capitals right now, because
Yeah,
Royal Challengers Bangalore, even if they win tomorrow's game, they have to hope that Delhi loses. So it's
right.
not in their hands. They obviously they have to win their game, and it's in their hands. That part is in their hands, but the entirety of the tournament is not in their hands. But Delhi Capitals, they have it in their hands. Just win it and make it to the top four.
Yeah,
And potentially may even, oh no, now there's no chance of them going to number two, because
yeah,
Lucknow Super Giants and Gujarat Titans, Rajasthan Royals can sort of topple Lucknow Super Giants, but Gujarat Titans are going to play either Lucknow Super Giants or Rajasthan Royals on the 24th.
yeah.
And on the 25th, we are going to see one of Lucknow Super Giants or Rajasthan Royals taking on Royal Challengers Bangalore or Delhi Capitals. So
Very
it's as
interesting.
simple as
I
that.
mean, it's very interesting at this very point. Everybody believes it's just going to be a two-way race for number two. It's between Royal Challengers Bangalore and Delhi Capitals. But before that, let's speak about what it could possibly do for Lucknow Super Giants. You reckon they can possibly now seal it from here on, that they are going to be the team who's going to play the top two spot playoff at Kolkata, between Gujarat Titans? The two newbies are going to be the ones who are going to play qualify number one, you reckon?
No, it depends on Rajasthan Royals, because the net run rate difference between Rajasthan Royals and Lucknow Super Giants is not that great. I mean, today also Lucknow Super Giants just won by 2 runs. So basically, I think there's a difference of something point zero 0.06 or point zero 0.07 in the points table. The difference between Lucknow Super Giants and Rajasthan Royals. So you never know, because CSK is not in the best of forms. So Rajasthan Royals can just come against CSK all guns blazing and win by some 20-30 runs and topple Lucknow Super Giants to end number two on points table. So yeah, there is chances for Rajasthan Royals to topple Lucknow Super Giants on the points table. But other than that, whoever, if Rajasthan Royals are unable to do so, it's Rajasthan Royals versus either Delhi Capitals or Royal Challengers Bangalore Eden Gardens on 25th for the
It's
eliminator.
gonna be interesting. It's gonna be an interesting game of cricket because Rajasthan Royals versus Royal Challengers Bangalore, the two last games have been very enthralling as well. I reckon even Delhi Capitals versus Rajasthan Royals had a lot of drama. So I'm sure it's gonna be an enthralling one. But can we still expect a team like SRH to make it? Because yesterday they had a
SRH are out of it. SRH is simply out of it. The only scenario where Punjab Kings can make it is if Royal Challengers Bangalore loses, Delhi Capitals loses, and they have a thumping win over Sunrisers Hyderabad. Thumping as in they have to defeat Sunrisers Hyderabad by somewhat, right, 100, 120 runs, and expect
right,
Delhi Capitals to lose by the same margin,
right.
sort of the same margin.
Right, absolutely. I mean, that's going to be very interesting as well for Delhi Capitals as to how they will be progressing into this tournament. But can we expect a whole twist in the tail if Punjab can also qualify from here on? Because Punjab Kings, we're not talking about them much, but then they're also well in it, isn't it?
Yeah, no, someone like a Punjab Kings, Sunrisers Hyderabad. We have seen somebody also like a Rajasthan Royals. Rajasthan Royals this time around, I think they won a lot of games at the auction table itself. They were very good in picking the balance they needed. I think the batting sort of department that did not click for them. It sort of going to go like become stable with Nisham coming in at number 6 and Devdutt Patikal dropping in the middle order with Yashasvi Jaiswal opening. We saw in the last game Butler failed, and yet Rajasthan Royals managed to sort of win, not win, yeah, win or sort of post a very good total with the bat and win the game as well. So yeah, we saw that the only complaint that we were having was they were over heavily dependent on Butler with the bat. Rajasthan Royals has sort of turned things around for them. But you expect somebody like a Rajasthan Royals on other years, Sunrisers Hyderabad, Punjab Kings to not finish in the top four. They sort of choke under pressure. Something which we saw Sunrisers Hyderabad go through. They were
Yeah,
completely on the driver's seat with sort
yeah,
of 6 wins in 9 games, or probably seven, yeah, five wins in 7 games, and then things just got downhill for them. Something
yeah.
which we have seen for teams like Punjab Kings as well. On the other hand, if you consider teams like Delhi Capitals, they have always been on the fray in the last 2 3 years, as a complete, like, in totality, the management, the franchise, they sort of back their players, and the players have come out good for them. I think the only concern for them would be somebody like a David Warner is in good form. Mitchell Marsh is in good form, but the rest of the batting unit, somebody like a Rishabh Pant needs to play a very good innings to sort of gain that confidence, because according to me, he's just coming in. Either he's coming in too late, or he's coming
Yeah,
in the within the power play and sort of not going for it right from ball one, not
yeah,
not playing the ball according to its merit. He's just playing that one dimensional form of cricket. So I think
right.
they have to sort of sort their batting issues a bit. Also, we saw that Shardul Thakur was not in the best of forms in the prior few games, but in the last game he picked up 4 wickets. So things have been looking up for Delhi Capitals, but for Punjab Kings, it has been looking up since they decided to drop somebody like a Odin Smith and Shah Rukh Khan from their team. Even though they bought that X Factor play, SRH will call it. It's difficult. Salim, I'll just take your question. It's very difficult. I mean, it's almost impossible, because SRH and Delhi Capitals are sort of separated by almost point 0.5 in the net run rate department. And to cover a point 0.5 in the 14th game, that is, you have already played 13 games. So you have to have a huge positive net run rate, a positive net run rate of something around 5, and expect that Delhi Capitals loses by a huge margin as well, along with RCB losing. So SRH
Yeah,
qualifying looks really unlikely. We can safely say that SRH are out of it.
absolutely. I mean, we have a
Delhi
very
Capitals, if they have the momentum going for them, they can definitely win it. But they
absolutely.
have to win the next one, as it's very important for them to win the next one. I mean,
Yeah,
even if they lose the next one, they can still go through. It will all depend on tomorrow's game, how RCB fares against Gujarat Titans. If RCB
right.
wins, then it's a must win for Delhi Capitals as well.
Right. The I have one bad news for the Europa League players at this very point. I don't think we are able to fix it at this very point. So I kindly request you to stay and play other contests as well, because it just seems to be a glitch from our end. I sincerely apologize for that, because I never expected this happening in a crucial match like this. So maybe we will try to sort it out better for the upcoming games. I know it's a big, massive game, which is on the hands, which is going to be played on Eintracht Frankfurt. So I know it's a massive game as well. We are going to be covering it nonetheless, but unfortunately, we don't have the we don't have the contest right now. The game is going to be massive between Rangers and Frankfurt as well. So I just request you, as I don't see anything pop up at this very moment on the app. So Salim, Viper, everybody else, I request you to stay with us and keep playing our contest on different levels. But today's Europa League game doesn't seem to be going on our app because of some technical difficulty. I hope you understand that at this very point, and we will carry on with a lot more contests. So do stick on with us. Having said that, Sandipani, how did your day go on the fantasy side of things?
I think I did not have Russell as my captain or vice captain, because I sort of predicted that he will not come good under pressure. The only player that I did not have in my team, or out of the, like, the key performers, because from Lucknow Super Giants it was just KL Rahul and Quinton de Kock's show. None of the other batters got a chance to play. I had Evan Lewis in my 11, even though he picked up that very crucial catch, but just gave me very little points, just the catch points. So he did not get enough chance. Stoinis sort of came good for me with the ball. I expected him to come good with the bat, but he came good with the ball. So nonetheless, I got my points back over there. All in all, I'll say it was a good day fantasy league wise. But from KKR's point of view, I did not have Rinku Singh in my 11, because it was difficult to fit all these players, and a lot of players came good tonight. It was good to see that everybody came good. I had Sam Billings in my team, but I did not have Rinku Singh in my team. Uh, so yeah, otherwise it was a very good day.
Yeah, that's okay. Having said that, guys, I request you again, to keep playing the fantasy contest with Boom 11, because I know these glitches do happen, and I hope you give us that leeway to get away with this, because I'm sure that we wouldn't be repeating such glitches in the coming future as well. I'm sure that we're able to keep you entertained with the best of fantasy contests and best of experience with our app. So do stick on with us and also play our fantasy contest for absolute free of cost, and you can win big with Boom 11. So don't miss out on these chances, because when it comes about football, we have huge Champions League final coming up. We have the Premier League final weekend, which is going to be an exciting one, which will be the title deciding one as well. And when it comes to IPL, you can play daily. Tomorrow is a huge match for RCB versus RCB, as they'll be taking on Gujarat Titans. So you can win big there as well. So don't miss out on that, because these games are all going to be so important for the tournaments and also for you people. Okay, coming to that, guys, also follow us and subscribe the channel right now so that you get notified every time we go live with Boomer 11, so that we keep you entertained with some great action. Let it be IPL, let it be some podcasts what we do on football, and some excellent cricket podcasts are coming up as well. It's going to be about the KKR coach Brendan McCullum. So stay tuned for that, and also follow us on Twitter, because that's where we'll be doing the preview for every game. So do not miss out on any of those things. We'll be having Jones and Sandipani there as well, and myself. We'll be breaking down as to what are the matchups, what are the players you should be keeping in your team, and what is it about, what should be the ideal playing 11, etc., etc. So don't miss out on any of this. And also follow us on Instagram, because we'll be providing us with some funny memes. If you're a meme lover, you're gonna love that. And also fantasy 5 picks. You can make your 11 using a fantasy 5, because we give you a fantasy picks with some proper analytics out there. So I hope you enjoyed the IPL experience with Boom 11. Take care and stay safe, and thank you, Sandibani, for the show today.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, it's the last time I'll be wearing just this jersey this season.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Possibly you can wear it for the final and just say that you are one of those. We'll be having a overall overall review of the group stage as well. So possibly that day you can wear it. Bye
well,
bye.
we'll see. Bye bye. Have a nice day.